Hello everyone and welcome back for another edition of 8 Minutes with Aaron. I am of course your host Aaron, and today we are going to discuss Monday Night Raw, June 16th, 2024. So let's get rolling with a fresh edition of this guy right here. It might have been the 17th, Aaron. Alright, so the date was wrong, but it was a Monday Night Raw nonetheless. It first started with, Seth Rollins' return. It has only been about like 2 and some odd months since he left. And to be honest with you, I didn't even miss the guy. He came back, Damian Priest came down, they set up a match for Money in the Bank. It looks like people just get title shots, but Seth Rollins technically does get that rematch clause that we all thought was gone in the past. The first match was Braun Strowman versus Chad Gable. It was kind of like, David versus Goliath kind of thing. Chad Gable, of course, lost when Braun Strowman gave him a big power slam. 1, 2, 3. The big thing of the match was Chad Gable threw Tozawa in front of Braun Strowman to, do something or some shit like that. Tozawa didn't do nothing. And after the match, Gable berated him, berated Maxine Dupree. And finally, Otis had enough, took off his shirt, and pushed down Chad Gable, signifying the leaving of Alpha Academy from Chad Gable. Now, what's going to happen? I think that Chad Gable's going to get a little bit of help from that other crew that I can't remember their name. The other ones were like Alpha-ish. I don't know their names. But we'll see what happens. The next match was Io Sky versus Kanata James versus Zelina Vega to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match. Let me just put it like this. The crowd was not into it at all. Nobody cares about Kiana James. Io Sky probably got the best reaction because she's probably the best of the three. I like Zelina Vega because she dresses up in all those anime costumes and shit like that. But people aren't a big fan of her and the wigs and this, that, and the other thing. The match was pretty decent. Zelina Vega got a couple 619s, a throwback for Rey Mysterio. And in the end, Io Sky got the victory when Liv Morgan came down, distracted Zelina Vega, of course a distraction, which gave Kiana James and pushed her out of the ring. And then Io Sky picked up the victory. Yay, Io Sky! Sami Zayn came in the ring, was like, listen, I'm done with Chad Gable and the Alpha Academy. Now it is time for me to move on and take on other challengers. Braun Breaker came down and looked like, hey, I'm going to murder the shit out of you. I want that Intercontinental Championship. Let's go right now. But that is when Sheamus came down. He's going, all right, fella, hold on a second. You're a new kid in this federation. He talks like that. He's cool. I like Sheamus. And Sheamus basically said, I've been chasing that IC title around for years. I've never gotten it. I want a shot at the title. Braun Breaker's like, listen, dude, I'm going to wreck you. This set up Sami Zayn for some odd reason, going to Adam Pearce and asking for a match between Sheamus and Braun Breaker. Why the hell is he requesting matches now? Alright, so the next match before we get to that one was Carlito versus Dragon Lee. We know that Carlito attacked Dragon Lee before WrestleMania 40, and then they just now are facing off for the first time ever. Once again, Liv Morgan came down to the ring because it was Carlito, and Dom Mysterio was down there. She was like all, ooh, I got your jacket on. And Dom's like, yo, give me my jacket back. Come on, what the fuck? Zelina Vega came down and attacked Liv Morgan, was like, yo, you screwed me over in my match. I'm going to beat the shit out of you now. Maybe it will set up Liv Morgan's first program since becoming the women's champion. Maybe it'll be a little bit more interesting. All right, Drew McIntyre came down for a little speech. People were cheering CM Punk. Drew McIntyre basically said, screw this, I quit, and left. I think this is basically just a way to write off Drew McIntyre just for the time being. His wife has been sick, so I think they're going to give him some time off and be with his wife. Good job, WWE. Or he might say, hey, CM Punk, I'm going to go on SmackDown and beat your ass. Maybe he'll sign on SmackDown's brand or some shit like that. Next match was Kiana Carter and Kanata James versus Damage Control. I'm not going over that. It was garbage. Next match was Sheamus versus Braun Breaker. That match was actually pretty good. A lot of back and forth, a lot of big power moves. Braun Breaker was kicking Sheamus' ass. Sheamus came back, gave the 10 beats on his chest. He had a white noise off the top rope. And then he fought back, Braun Breaker, kicked out at a 2. Then he started focusing on his abdomen and shit like that because that's where he does with the spear. And then what happened was my buddy, Ludwig Kaiser, or wherever the hell he does, came down to the ring and attacked Sheamus, causing the DQ. He was beating the shit out of Sheamus. Sami Zayn's just standing there. Sami Zayn, this dude, the champion, is just watching this all happen. He's such a face. He's such a good guy, right? Not helping Sheamus out at all that two people are beating the shit out of him. Then Braun Breaker had enough, came around the ring when Ludwig was going to crush, I guess, Sheamus' leg and speared the shit out of Ludwig, and he died. The final match of the night was Jey Uso facing Finn Balor and Rey Mysterio for their qualifying match for Money in the Bank. This match, I can say, was kind of fun. I really like Rey Mysterio. A lot of moves off the top rope. A lot of 619s. He hit a ton of 619s, I should say. I don't know how Rey Mysterio didn't lose. Well, duh, because they want to push Jey Uso to the moon. Yeet, yeet, yeet. I don't give a shit about your yeets. Your kicks are shitty. Get back with Jimmy and let me see them Usos like they should be together as a team. I don't like your singles run. I don't like the yeets. Hey, I'm a hater. I'm saying it. I'm hating on the yeets. The match came down to Finn Balor landing the coup de grace on Rey Mysterio. 1-2. Jey Uso did a splash off the top rope and landed on Finn Balor. Pinned him 1-2-3. Now let's get to the big, juicy portion of Raw. As Jey Uso is in the stands with the fans, hey, I won the match. I'm going to the next thing with Money in the Bank. All of a sudden, the lights, boo, 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 boo. Lights turned out. Now, we all know what was coming because they announced it in the beginning of Raw, and they announced it all over the internet, that the Wyatt 6-6, or I really didn't look up the name, to be honest with you, didn't check the merchandise either, they made their final appearance with Uncle Howdy and 4 other people that I do not give a total shit about. So, lights went off. All of a sudden, you see this girl crawl out like she's from The Ring or The Grudge. I don't really know what movie you want to call it from. It was, what's her name? Can't even remember her name. That's how much. Oh, Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross crawled out. She came out with a lantern, and then she's like, yo, go through here, go through the back area, or Gorilla, wherever you want to go. They pan through Gorilla, and all of a sudden, you see a bunch of people knocked down on the ground. Adam Pearce, Triple H, Shane Helms, who, you know, is the Hurricane, and a bunch of other production members. And as you keep, and then you go through, and there's a dude with a hammer and a bunny mask, which is Eric Rowan. There's 2 of them. Then you go in a little bit back further, and then you see Braun Strowman laid out. Oh no, not Braun Strowman! What is he still doing there? He had a match in the beginning of Raw. He was laid out, and then you keep going through, and then there was a dude who was sitting on a crate, looking all mysterious and shit. I don't know what to tell you guys. And then it went through again. You saw Chad Gable, who looked like he got a bullet shot to his temple. Not a chair shot, but like a bullet shot in his head. And then finally you get to some other dude, and then you get to Uncle Howdy. They all make their way to the front, and they pick up the thing and they go, we're here, and blow out the thing. I don't have a lot of time to break this down for you guys, but I'm going to tell you this. I don't see this being anything spectacular or anything great. Bray Wyatt, I think, was fantastic. I only really like the Funhouse thing. I didn't like the Fiend. I don't like the undefeatableness. Undertaker, yes, that rolled well with me. But this, on the other hand, I don't know what to tell you. We can go over this in another video or stuff like that. But overall, Monday Night Raw is getting it down. Because there is no CM Punk, he will be on SmackDown. Wyatt sick, 6, whatever, I wish you the best, but so far you look like shit to me. A-A-R-O-N. So, my name is Aaron. Thank you for watching 8 Minutes with Aaron. I will see you next time when we go over more stuff, more things, and hey, maybe you'll hear me complain about the Funko Fun Days tonight. See you later. Bye-bye.